Tonight is what everyone calls the full moon. It is the second night of the full moon because last night was the first night of the full moon that rose when the sun set. The moon rose and the sun set at the same time. We have 3 nights of the full moon. Now, I'd like to show you a photo I took of the full moon tonight. Isn't that beautiful? So tomorrow night is full moon as well, and then the night after is the full moon outpour, and that's when the energy of the Leo full moon outpour starts to outpour upon us for the next 2 weeks down to the new moon, which will be in the zodiacal house of Aquarius, and the start of the year of the dragon. Now, interestingly, that tree does look a little bit like a dragon there. I just noticed this. That's so interesting. Now, I want to show you another photo of my moon. That I took. I do love the moon. And oops, I hope I can get this focus scene. There we go. Oh, in and out. My camera doesn't want to focus so well. Fascinates me, especially that part. If it can come clear. I love those tracks, and I wonder what they are all the time. I see some special things sometimes when I view the moon. And as we all know, the coolness comes from the moon. And they're almost like vents to me that are sort of like pushing out coolness, cold. Also, there's something important about the moon because, as we know, it can move the oceans, but also it lifts the sap in plants. So it's obviously not an alien satellite that was put here or anything like this. It was part of creation, and it's a part of our psyche, something to do with our psyche. Okay, so that's those images. Now, I also want to outpour my... Oh, I was going to do this. It's my crystal vase, and I'm outpouring the mountain spring water into it because that is going to be infused with the moon energy. And now I'd like to tell everyone a story. I'll turn this around and I hope you can see me. Ow, I hurt myself. So this is the story of Rosy Cheeks. In the 6th century before Christ, a Thracian maiden lived in Oasis Polis, a Greek colony who had come from Samos. They lived in the Egyptian desert about 160 kilometers away from Cairo, west of the Nile. The oasis was a valley surrounded by mountains and has numerous springs where they grow guavas, dates, mangoes, and olives. Oasis Polis may have been named Oxyrhynchus in those days, and the Valley of the Golden Mummies can be found here. The flute and the drums and the harp were played here, and songs were passed down from generation to generation. One day, Rosy Cheeks had taken off her sandals at the edge of the oasis, and a hawk flew down and picked one up and flew off with it as she bathed. Pharaoh Neku II, who ruled from Sais on the western Nile of the Delta, where the grave of Osiris is located, and where the divine mothers teach how to cure diseases in a large medical school for women, was out administering justice in Memphis that day. And the hawk dropped the sandal in his lap as it flew over. Gobsmacked by this occurrence and the beauty of the sandal, Neku could not rest until he had found the owner. As soon as he discovered her, he made her his queen, and many people were very upset about that. So he named her Ki-Deb Neith Urbanet. Ki-Deb Neith Urbanet, which means Neith kills the evil eye. Now, Neku II was a man of action from the start, endowed with imagination beyond that of his contemporaries. He was faced with chaos created by the raids of the Scythians and the Cimmerians, which are both different names for the Thracian, and Rosy Cheeks was Thracian. That is, she had red hair and green eyes. Now, the Thracians the Scythians and the Cimmerians had ravished Asia west of the Euphrates and helped the Babylonians shatter the Assyrian Empire. Neku had attempted to assist the Assyrians at Haran, the crossroads between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, at the border of the Mesopotamian and Anatolian cultures, an important intersection of the trade routes. And he led a sizable force there, but to no avail, for Nebuchadnezzar II conquered. We can read all about Neku II in a link that I will put into the comment section. Okay, so there's this really cool guy, Neku. He's awesome. He's so awesome that even though his enemies were the Thracians, who were conquering around the Mediterranean area, perhaps the world, they didn't create an empire. So the red-haired, green-eyed people didn't create their own empire, but they colonized and populated themselves everywhere around the world, and they were obviously very skilled in everything that they did. And even though the Thracians were sort of like on the side of the Babylonians, he himself married a Thracian woman and did not let that deter him in any way. He loved her, and he felt that the sign, which was the hawk dropping the sandal into his lap, was a divine sign, because Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, was personified as the hawk. So, being that we are all humans, I was going to use the word religious, but I think we are a people who take symbology quite seriously, whether that's a superstitious way or whether that's in a deep and meaningful way. Neku himself was a man who honoured the symbolism that came to him in his life. And he had a very happy life with his wife. She was well respected by him, and she was his queen, and that is all that mattered. And he gave her the most honourable name, Neath kills the evil eye, because there would have been many that flashed her a look of maybe envy, maybe spite, maybe malice. So I hope you read about Neku II. You'll see that he's also mentioned in the Bible, and there's a couple of stories in there. And I wonder if at that time period in the 6th century before Christ, if that was also the Pluto in Aquarius time of year. Because it seems to me that when Pluto is in Aquarius, we have these really major historical events that are happening. So also we're coming up to the year of the dragon, and so that's coming up with this new moon that's after in 2 weeks' time. So the outpouring of this Leo full moon outpour, tomorrow is still a full moon. After that, the outpour begins. During the outpour of the moon, our psyche, our temples are imbued with the energy that is in the universe, one verse, the words we speak. It's a very important time. It's probably a little bit more important than I realize, but I just do everything that is in me to do, and I hope that you do too. Best of luck to everyone, and enjoy the full moon. I hope you all spend some time outside, have a look at it. It's just stunning, and many blessings to you all. Thank you so much for listening, and ka kite.